welcome to Capsized, Silver Lake podcast discussing weekly school-wide updates. I'm your host, one of your hosts right here, Connor McKinnon, and we have our guest today.
Well, welcome. I'm Laurie Cullen, and it's an honor to be here with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to have you. So I did want to say, and I know everybody here on the podcast would love to say the same. Welcome to Silver Lake. It is your first year,
It
correct?
is my first year, and I've had a lot of warm welcomes, and I'm very appreciative for. So you guys have been wonderful.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad we could
Yeah.
welcome you. Um, Something I want to mention just broadly, are there any clubs you get into or anything here at Silver Lake that sticks out to you that you want to be a part of or you want to create your own club?
Yeah, so I did go ahead and I've started Girls Who Code, and it's actually a national run organization, which is why it's called Girls Who Code, but everybody is invited, any gender identification that you go by.
Hmm.
But since it's a national run club, we have to go by their names, so we
Hmm.
get their support and their funding. But they also, the national level, welcomes all genders as well. Um, we had an amazing launch party last Thursday. It's run by three amazing students, and they plan out the agenda, the goals. We had over 25 students present.
Oh, wow.
We're going to meet again next Thursday, and we honor those women in tech. We do women in tech spotlights. We get the girls coding on different projects through Girls Who Code. And then we're hoping to be involved in the community as well and get our middle school students coding at
Hmm.
an early young age. So by the time they get to the high school, they're already kind of deep dived into some code.
That sounds awesome. It
Yeah.
does. One thing I'm interested in, I know probably many other people are too. What's kind of your previous experience, your background before you came here to Silver Lake? Did you teach before too, or?
Yeah. So I actually taught at Natick High School for 12 years, computer science classes.
Hmm.
Actually, I'll go even further beyond that. So out of college, I actually taught at Hanover Elementary School, and my undergrad was physical education.
Oh, wow.
And I loved it, but I loved fitness more for like my own
Hmm.
health and lifestyle. So, and I love computers, always had. So I actually went back for my master's in instructional technology. And once I got that degree, then I went ahead and taught at Natick High School for 12 years, where I got up and running the web design program over there, as well as additional computer science classes. And then I came here. But I've always lived on the South Shore, so I was commuting like an hour
Mm,
to work,
pretty long.
each way. Yeah, but I love Natick so much. But I finally, was waiting for that perfect opportunity to show up near my hometown, my house, and
Hmm.
it came. And I said, now's the time to make the move. And I'm so glad I did. I still have a love for my old school, but
Hmm.
my love for the new school is growing even more, and the best decision I could have made. And with that, I get to be involved with the school and the
Hmm.
community more. Go to the football games, go to the soccer games, the theater shows, stay after school and do
Hmm.
things like this. Whereas before, when you work an hour away, it's hard to,
It
really get
is.
indulged in the community. So it's been nice to be back home. And I grew up at Whitman Hanson. So
There you go.
yeah, I went to a regionalized school as well. So it's like home here,
And
which is
that's awesome.
wonderful.
Well,
Yeah.
we're glad we can make you feel that way,
Yeah.
especially because it's not too far, like you were saying, Whitman Hanson, and it's not too far away, which
Yeah.
is good too,
Yeah.
from your hometown. Well, that's pretty cool. That this is. Have you Girls Who Code? Was this something you did at your previous school?
Yeah, so I wasn't the leader, the facilitator. I went and helped out because, like I said, I live so far away. So sometimes I'd be able to go and help out, and sometimes I wouldn't. So, but I did get to, experience it with the girls and help out when I could. So now it's so nice to be able to be the person that
Hmm.
is really spearheading it and getting it up and going. It's so exciting. It's so great to see the passion
Hmm.
and how much there was a need for it here.
Hmm.
So I think it was a long overdue club, and we're really excited to get it up and running.
Me too. I'm glad that
Yeah.
the idea has come because I personally have never heard of it before.
Oh,
So
you
it's like
haven't?
no.
Oh, so that's the other thing. It's a very well-known club at like the college level. So if you
Hmm.
go ahead and put it on your college applications, many of the colleges know about it in the area. So not only is it a great experience, but
Hmm.
it's a great resume builder
Exactly,
as well.
especially at younger age. So if we can
Yes.
start younger, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are there any other clubs that you are involved with, either here at Silver Lake or before you came to Silver Lake?
Yeah. So I know they're going to be starting a video. Mr. Town is going to be starting a video game
Mhm.
design club here, which I think will be huge interest. At
Mhm.
my other school, they had that. They actually had esports. So video gaming was a sport actually there. So I'm hoping once the club gets up and running that he can kind of get something like that up and running as well. I won't be involved in it, but he's been a great partnership in helping Girls Who Co get up and running. So we're hoping that we can continue to help each other out. And then just another passion of mine, I do the computer things and I love
Mhm.
that, but I love the balance of off screen time as well. The
Yes.
fitness and the health and the running and the sports. So I like to just encourage a balanced lifestyle. So it's
Mhm.
great to do the coding, but also kind of get out there and get some fresh air and soak in the socialization that we can all do now
Exactly.
off the computer.
And that's awesome. Although I personally feel like it was easy. It was nice to be on a computer, but I like the in-person
Yeah,
socialization
yes.
too.
Actually, a funny how I kind of got into kind of more the computer science side and the coding and the web
Mhm.
design is I actually coached gymnastics at a gymnastics school for years and years and years. And I was just out of college. And like many college students, I needed more money. And the person that owned the gym said, I need, this is when websites were just becoming a thing.
Mhm.
And she said, businesses are starting to have these things called websites. Like, you're good with computers. Could you build me a website?
Mhm.
And I said, sure, because I needed more money. I had no clue how to build a website.
Oh,
Yeah, so I said yes, and I was like, oh, I got a lot of work ahead of me. So I went home, and for like a solid week on my broken computer, actually, my laptop, the screen was split from the
oh,
keyboard. So the only way to keep the two together is I had to prop it up on a chair.
oh,
So
jeez.
for a week, I went home and I taught myself how to build a website, which they didn't have all the resources out there that they do now. So it took me some time, but I ended up teaching myself, and I actually ended up maintaining her website for like the next 8 or 10
Oh, wow.
years. And then I went back and I got, formal training over the years. But that's kind of my sports passion led me into my computer passion. So you never know,
Mm.
what opportunity is around the corner that you don't say no to, which will
Mhm.
then kind of open you up for future opportunities or careers. So,
Exactly, because sports and computers and websites are two kind of completely different things.
right? But yeah, but it was great to kind of merge the two,
Yeah,
my love for computers and my love for sports together.
and that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's and any viewers listening, that's encouragement right there.
Yeah.
Even though you may be interested in one thing, you can also be interested in a completely different thing and just go for it.
Yeah.
Because Miss Cullen is here and she's doing all the stuff she loves. And so
Yes.
you just gotta go for it.
Yeah, merging the two worlds together. And I
Exactly.
made I made some money that helped me survive for the next few years post college. So that
Exactly.
was nice too.
It's a plus too. That's a big plus.
Yeah.
Um, what's something you really what's one of your favorite things you like to do with students in your classroom? Is there any like specific lesson you like to teach, or is there any specific topic you like to
Yeah.
teach?
So right now, we are in a 3D rendering program called SketchUp. So the whole unit is called the Career and Lifestyle. So we go out and they use tools on the web to figure out, what is a good fit for their career, what
Mhm.
is their learning style, and then once they pick a career, what's the annual salary for that career? What can I afford for a car with that career? What can I afford for a house? But taking it beyond career and lifestyle, we then get into Scratch and we animate our dream car. And that's a good introduction to programming. Instead of picking out like a house online that we can afford based upon our career, we actually get into SketchUp and we 3D model our dream house. So again, it's one of those connecting real life experiences with the computer science field as well. There's a place for computers everywhere,
Mhm.
whether it's your house, whether it's your car, whether it's your sports, all technology is integrated into all of that. So it's really fun to make those connections and in SketchUp. I'm looking forward to with the students. What's nice about my class, we do a little bit of everything. So
Mhm.
even if you're not a fan of 3D SketchUp, you're exposed to it and you now know that it exists. Or maybe you love it and you find a pathway to go deeper with
Mhm.
it. So, we're doing SketchUp, we're doing Scratch, we'll be doing photo editing and Photoshop. We'll be doing Animate and Adobe Character. We'll be doing HTML, CSS. So I love the variety that I'm able to offer the students. As we were talking and I was learning your background, I was going to say I'd love to have you in my class. So
Mm.
it's the class has been offered here in the years past, but it's really getting revamped this year.
Mhm.
New units are coming in. The goal is to keep it up with the times over the year.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying to take the class more than once, but what I teach in your freshman year could be completely different your
Yeah.
senior year, because the goal is to keep up with the times, the trends, and the technologies, and continue just to introduce students to what's out there now,
Mhm.
what is trend, not necessarily trending, but this the basic skill sets that you need in technology to kind of stay current in the times, just with basic life skills, or whether you choose to go down one of those pathways for your college career,
Mhm.
for your college or for your career.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
think it's a really cool idea.
Mm.
And I like what it's all about too,
Mm.
because as you can probably tell, I'm into this kind of stuff and I like
Yeah.
computers and technology. And it's something, it's not, it's never been my weakest area, but it's also hasn't been my strongest area.
Mm.
So I am kind of noticing getting progressively getting higher in that area, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell
Um,
my students we're on a not yet model in my classroom. So,
yes.
you get into SketchUp and you think it's going to be easy, but then like you try to rotate an object and you're like, why can't I rotate it? And
Mm-hmm.
then, 10 minutes later, you finally rotate an object. But it's such like an amazing, I call them aha moments, like
Mm-hmm.
when the light bulb goes off and you make it work. But that's what a lot of computer science is. It's a lot of determination is
Exactly.
what it is, and not giving up. So we're on the not yet model in that classroom. So, what might work for some people faster might not work for the next person at the same speed. So we all learn at our own level.
And that's true. And it sounds like an amazing class, an amazing experience to have.
Yeah.
Are there any other things you wanted to get out on the podcast about your class or any clubs or any shout outs, maybe?
Yeah. So a big shout out to all the staff here that have been wonderful. So those that are listening, I'm the teacher that you'll see in a wheelchair and crutches. So that running and the sports and the passion that I mentioned kind of caught up to me in my older years
Hmm.
and after having 3 kids. So I had a little bit of a hip surgery. So a big shout out for, I mean, all students and staff have been wonderful and helping me out around with the crutches and the wheelchair, which has been able to let me focus on, my teaching and the clubs here. So big shout out to all of them. A big thank you. And a big pitch, come take computer applications. It's a different class. It's
Hmm.
been revamped. Excited for all the new material to be teaching. And then our Girls Who Code Club, we run meetings every other Thursday from 2 to 2:45 in room 1301. So our next meeting will actually be next Thursday on the 21st. And then we meet every Thursday after that. And whether you come to one meeting in a month from now or you come to every meeting, it's an open source, we'll call it.
To me,
You can come and go as you please, and whatever fits in your schedule.
to me, that's awesome because a lot of time it's people. I feel like people have a hard time managing time, especially in high school.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is definitely a good thing for everyone to hear. So if you're interested in Girls Who Code, definitely reach. Who would you reach out to?
You can reach out to me. So, Mrs. Cullen, so Laurie Cullen at slrsd.org. We actually, once you do reach out, we have a Google Classroom for the club, and we actually have a Girls Who Code headquarters that will get them all set up on too. So, even if they can't make it to every meeting, we have online resources that they can use, if they're home on a
Mhm.
Saturday night and looking for something to do, or that's when they have time. So, again, your resources can be reached in person or online
It sounds awesome.
as well.
Sounds like something fun. I've definitely
Yeah.
seen it advertised a lot, so that's good too.
Oh, good to hear.
It is. So if you guys are interested, just reach out to Miss Cullen.
Yeah.
And hopefully you guys like the club. It sounds amazing to me. There's a lot
Yeah.
of great new things here at Silver Lake, and that's one of them. So,
Yeah. And for students that I don't have now, I have a wonderful candy jar in 1301.
yes,
So if you ever just want to stop in and say hi and introduce yourself, I got some good
yes,
Smarties
that's
on the
awesome.
desk. So I'd love to see new faces.
Well, there you go. That sounds like a
Yeah.
plan. I'll definitely stop in now that I've actually
Yeah,
got to
right
meet
around the
you.
corner.
Sounds good. Anything you want to end with, or we all set to wrap up?
No, just a big thank you for my big welcome to Silver Lake. I'm excited to be here. My family's very excited for me to be here as well. So
You're
thank you
welcome.
for
Well,
having
we
me.
all welcome you here at Silver Lake, and we hope you enjoyed being on the podcast.
Yeah, I know
Until
this is
next
so
week.
exciting. I'm gonna. You'll start to see this. Oh, actually, I
Yes.
have a teacher website. So if they want to learn more about me
Okay.
or what I'm teaching in the class, you can go to mrscullen.com. So mrscullen.com.
Okay.
Wonderful information there, and I'm now actually going to link your podcast on there
There
as
you
well.
go.
So
Sounds awesome. And then we will also mention this for further episodes too. That way, it kind of keeps getting out there. For all the information that you guys would like to reach out to Miss Cullen or any clubs, we will keep reminding you of that information as we make more podcast episodes. So thanks for listening and see you on the flip side.
Yay!